It's Tuesday, December 4th, and I'm your host, Paula Hersey. On today's show, we hear from Chief Sonneman about the date for the civil service exam, learn more about an important workshop on chemical safety, get an update on the town's Chapter H application with the Cape Cod Commission. Let's start with some news you can use. The Cotuit Library is creating a new strategic plan, and they want your input. Please take the community survey and add your voice to the plan. You can find the survey online at their website, www.cotuitlibrary.org. Retirement, transfers, promotions creates a never-ending cycle of hiring for the police department. Chief Sonneman joins us with some important dates if you are considering a career in public safety. Well, it's Christmas here in the studio, and look, another Christmas miracle. Chief Sonneman with us again this week, live.
You invited me in once. It was like a cat. You feed me once, and I won't go away. So now here I am again.
It's fantastic, though, and I know folks love to see you and hear from you every week.
Not everybody.
Not everybody. Well, the ones that don't have warrants, how's that?
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So we've got a couple of things to talk about today. First off, let's start with the never-ending cycle of getting police officers on the Barnstable Police Department.
It does seem like it's a never-ending process, yes. As you know, we're a civil service police department. So, and I'm not aware, I don't know if the public is generally aware of that, but we are a civil service police department. And the only way you can get on a hiring list for the Barnstable Police Department and any other civil service police department in the state of Massachusetts is to take the entry-level police officer exam that civil service holds once every 2 years. So the next exam is coming up this March 23rd, 2019. And unlike times, ages ago when I got on the job, you had to actually fill out an application and send it into civil service by mail to sign up for the exam. Now it's all online. So to sign up for the exam, you have to go online to the Massachusetts Department of Human Resources, follow the links to civil service. There's a link on there that says exam schedule. Follow that link, and it will bring you to all the different exams they have, promotional and whatnot. But the one you're looking for is the entry-level police officer's exam for March 2019. And it has some instructions and it has some information on there, how to register for the exam, what the fees are. There are also different candidate nights that are held around the state in various locations. So if you want to learn more about the exam itself, you can attend one of those nights. And generally people from civil service will come and they'll speak about the exam. But you also get to listen to, if you go into a particular community like, say, the city of Worcester, when the city of Worcester presents it, or when we do, we actually have people that are in our background investigation unit and participate in the hiring process, so they can speak a little bit about what can you expect during a hiring process as well.
Okay, and we'll just back up a little bit here. The hiring for the police department between promotions and retirements and transfers, again, is never ending, right?
No,
You're always looking for new personnel.
It's ongoing. We just had a hiring process late in the fall, or early in the fall, late spring, early fall, you'd say, because the academy started in September. So we were hiring over the summer. We hired 5 people. They're in the academy now. They don't graduate until early February, but already we're in the hole again for 5 more people. So we're in the process right now of hiring 5 more people, which, given everything else, how you go through the whole process, the different requirements, it takes about a year from the day we start a hiring process to when someone's actually out of the academy and ready to be a police officer. So what happens is it's a very long process. So what happens is you take the exam, you get on a list, we call for a list, your name comes down to us, you got to come in, you sign off and say, yeah, I'm willing to accept the job. And from there we go through, we give you an application, we explain to you how to fill it out. We get that back, we do a background investigation, we have a series of interviews. Then you have to go to a psychological assessment, you have to go to a physical assessment, then you have to attend the academy. The academy right now is 22 weeks, so that's a big bulk of time. Then when you get out of the academy, we have you in a field training program for about 3.5 months. So soup to nuts, yeah, it's about a year from the day you walk in to sign the list to the day you're actually out on your own. And then after you get out, there's a year-long probationary period. So the day after you graduate the academy, you come in, you get sworn in with us, and that starts the clock ticking on a 1-year probationary period where we could let you go for pretty much any reason, but generally it's because you're not adapting well or you're not living up to the standards that we have. So.
Right. And it's interesting to me that the civil service exam, not all police departments are civil service. Barnstable is one of those outliers here on the Cape that is all civil service.
Yep. There used to be the majority of departments, but not now. Yes. You got Barnstable, we have Sandwich, the patrol officers are, Falmouth, and Bourne.
Right.
But the rest of the departments in this area on Cape, no.
Right.
They're not. Like Yarmouth is not. So the departments that are not, they have their own exams and they post them periodically and they have their own process. Our process is ruled by civil service. Civil service, administers the exams, grades the exam, and then they just provide us with a list of names.
Right.
So, and given how long it really takes to get the process done, because you figure they have the list, they have the exam every 2 years. So who waits around for 2 years to find out whether or not they're going to get a job? So it gets problematic. You have names on the list, you call them up, and they're, well, I'm not, I've already got a job, or so that just kind of sets you back a little bit. So it is problematic, but we do encourage anyone that's interested in the exam to go online to learn about it. If you know anybody, talk to people about it. Get in the Citizens Police Academy. Whatever you can do, learn about the job. Attend one of the candidate nights that are going to be scheduled. We'll be having one. But get out there and get the information, take the exam, and give it a shot. But this is, if you want to do it, you only get a shot every 2 years. So.
Only every 2 years, which is amazing.
Yeah,
so
no,
this is the time to get your information, to really look around, see if this is for you, and then get your application in for that exam.
Yep, and if you go to our Facebook page, there is a link to the Civil Service website, so jump right on there. It'll take you right to the exam portion of it, and you can start reading about what to do.
Excellent. And then the last little thing we'll mention is my favorite parade in the whole wide world is the Stuff-A-Bus parade.
Stuff-A-Bus, Sunday.
Coming up Sunday.
December 9th, yep. You can join us. We're going to be in the part of the parade with a lot of other police departments in the area, right down to Kmart Plaza. We'll still be collecting toys down there, stuffing the bus, trying to get it all filled up and everything else. And it's a great time. And it's Christmas time. Give a little bit. There's plenty of people out there, and especially kids, that don't have things that we have and that we take for granted. And it'd be nice to put a smile on somebody's face.
Right. And we just want to remind the public that there is no major catastrophe when you see all those lights, because it is really a full parade of regalia of all vehicles for law enforcement and for fire.
It is impressive. But, the stuffed animals are a dead giveaway.
Okay. and again, reminding people this year at Kmart, Toys R Us is closed, so it's going to be at the Kmart Plaza.
Unfortunately, yes. Kmart is gone. Toys R Us is gone.
Right.
So we'll be in the Kmart Plaza this year. Okay. Kmart Plaza.
Fantastic. Can they still bring a toy if they go?
You can still bring toys there. We also have our toy collection bins in the police department lobby, so you can drop them off there. And the area fire departments also collect. So if you can't make it on Sunday, drop something off in between now and then.
Excellent. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Join a panel of county and state experts to learn more about resources that businesses and others can use to address hazardous chemical vulnerabilities, increase climate change preparedness, and protect public safety. We're here in studio talking water. Water is really the lifeblood of Cape Cod, and everything that we do and have around us is full of water. With me today, I have Shannon Jarbo, floodplain specialist for the Cape Cod Cooperative Extension, Barnstable County, and Daniel Flockton, aquifer protection intern. Fantastic title. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us, Paula.
Thank you, Paula.
So, Shannon, just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do at the county.
Sure. So we both work for the Cape Cod Cooperative Extension. I'm a joint extension specialist with Cape Cod Cooperative Extension and Woods Hole Sea Grant. So as floodplain specialist, what I do is help all of the towns and residents, whoever has any issues or questions with any flood-related issues. So it could be flood insurance, floodplain building regulations, all kinds of elevation issues that people might have, or any flooding questions in general.
And an aquifer protection intern. Again, fancy title. I love it.
It's
Daniel,
very
what do you do as an intern over there at the county?
So I work with the Hazardous Waste and Materials Program. My supervisor, Calliope, and what I do, the first part of my internship, I have built a database of environmentally focused organizations, environment and water on the Cape. So both municipal, like your natural resource departments, and nonprofit like your land trusts and that sort of thing. And the second half has been working towards building a workshop, which we're going to put on, involving chemical safety and climate change preparedness, and how chemicals affect all of us, and how we can all work together to reduce the risk of polluting the water, which all goes back into our aquifer, which we drink from.
So I have to tell you, this particular workshop that you've put together, the chemical safety and climate change preparedness, it's going to be at West Barnstable Community Building over on Meeting House Way. This is really cool. So let's back up a little bit and talk about the need for this workshop.
Well, as I said, chemicals are all around us. They affect all of us, even things as seemingly mundane as paint thinner and gasoline. If there's a flood or some kind of event and it gets into the water, it goes right back into our aquifer. So an aquifer is basically where groundwater stores underground, and it's where we get our drinking water from. And on Cape Cod, it's sole source aquifer, meaning it's our only source of drinking water. So if we contaminate it, that's a big problem.
Right.
It's also unconfined, meaning that unlike drilling into bedrock to get water, it's recharged all the time by rainwater. So that same flow of water makes it easy for pollutants to get into the water. So again, it's easily polluted and it's our only source of water. So we need to protect it, and chemicals are all around us.
Right. So who really is the target for this workshop? Is it businesses? Is it residents? Is it municipalities?
I'll have Daniel take that one.
Yeah.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Everyone's welcome to come. We have sort of geared our invitation lists towards municipalities, businesses, and nonprofits, because they're larger organizations that have the resources that can sort of then spread the word throughout the community. But as I said, chemicals are everywhere. We all use them in our daily lives, so anyone is welcome to come.
What we really want to do is make sure that people are aware of the fact that they have these chemicals, have them think about what could happen if we do have a flood or any sort of other event where those chemicals could get out of where they're stored right now. And we want to be able to help folks think about their alternatives or just different ways to store those chemicals and just what they actually have that could potentially become hazardous.
All right. And the speaker lineup is really, you got an A-list coming here. So tell us kind of who's going to be there and give us this information.
So the who's who, basically. I'm going to give a little bit of information on the aquifer to prime the event. Then we're going to have our lovely Shannon speak a little bit about her expertise with flooding and the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program. After that, we're going to have Tiffany Skogstrom up from Boston from the Office of Technical Assistance come and speak about her office, which provides free confidential services to businesses. They'll do on-site assessments to see what kind of toxins you have on-site, how you can reduce those, alternatives you can use, how to store them properly, and how her office also focuses on incorporating toxins reduction and chemical safety into emergency preparedness planning. For example, is your business on a floodplain? Is there another business with toxic chemicals right nearby? They even have an interactive map that businesses can use and emergency planners can use. And then our final speaker, Rick Ferreira, he is from the Taunton Emergency Management Agency, and he's coming because they've worked with Tiffany in her office in the past, actually implementing these programs in the Taunton area. And he's going to speak a little bit about how they've actually engaged with businesses in the community in practice.
Right. It's interesting too as we come back to what these chemicals could be. Looking at the list, is lawn and garden products. I mean, insecticides and pesticides. That's stuff we all store on the floors of our basements or in our sheds.
Right, yep.
I mean, that's something. It may not be in the house. It might be outside, out of sight, out of mind. Right.
Yep. Even things like flea and tick treatment can also be a hazardous material that might be in the home. It could be in the shed, it could be in the garage, it could be in the basement, and wherever you store it. You want to be conscious of what could happen to that.
Yeah, and I'm also businesses themselves. We think, oh, it's automotive, right? That's the only one, or maybe it's a landscaping company with their stuff. But almost every business probably has some of these chemicals.
Oh, absolutely. Certain things, dry cleaners, jewelers, sawmills. You pretty much name a business, they probably have some kind of chemical that can pollute the water supply.
Right.
And even you look, at the extension, you look at our cleaning products under the sink. Anything that you would have in a household, you probably have in your office too, in terms of household cleaners and things like that. So
Right.
yeah, everyone has these.
Right. So climate safety, but the title is climate change preparedness. So how does that all tie together?
Sure. So thinking specifically about flooding. So we're looking at various types of flood events. So of course we have coastal floods here. We saw last winter several nor'easters. We can get just the right setup. And if we have a hurricane, then we could have some really significant flooding. We have sea level rise. We're starting to see more high tide. Just the past couple weeks, we had some really high tides. And then another thing that we're starting to see more of as well is these heavy precipitation events. These are really just picking up over the past few years, and people who are far away from the coast are starting to experience flooding. So people that didn't even think that they had to think about flood issues because they were far away from the source of flooding being the ocean, now have to start thinking about it. So anyone with a basement, if you're at the bottom of a hill, even if you're at the top of the hill, we're starting to see flooding in all kinds of crazy places because of this heavier precipitation. And with climate change, we're expecting that we're going to see more of these heavy single events where so much rain comes down, it just can't infiltrate into the ground fast enough, and it starts to cause damage to homes.
That's just crazy.
It is.
Let's talk a little bit about the municipality aspect of this. So, municipalities want their residents, our mission is to keep our residents safe, to make sure that they have a good quality of life. How is something like this going to help them if they go to a workshop like this?
So to start, if we get municipalities to attend, this is going to help them open their eyes to what the potential issues are. So I work with towns a lot and town staff a lot with explaining flood issues, but this is another aspect. This is a great way that different parts of Cape Cod Cooperative Extension expertise are coming together and working together to share that information with folks. And this is the start of a conversation. So we're also going to be able to work that into the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program that a lot of the towns have gotten grants, planning grants for the MVP process, and that helps them look at resiliency and climate issues and start to address those. So this will be a great way to incorporate some new ideas and some new thoughts and ways to address hazards into those plans.
All right. And as an intern, Daniel, I'm curious of how you got interested in protecting our aquifer.
Well, I actually come from Carver, not that far from here. We have a similar sole source aquifer, and we have agriculture with cranberry bogs all over our town, Cranberry, USA.
Okay.
We face the same kinds of problems with pesticides and those kind of things. So I've always had some kind of appreciation for protecting the natural environment, particularly water, and this kind of translated very easily.
Right. And the work that you're doing here, how is that going to help you as you go forward in your career?
Well, as far as learning how government works, how to coordinate a media campaign, how to sort of wrangle everyone together to actually get a big project like this done, those are skills that will be applicable in any career path I choose.
That's fantastic. You're lucky.
I
Calliope's
know,
lucky.
yep.
I mean,
It's a great addition.
a great addition. What else do you want people to know about this particular event or what your departments are doing?
Anything you can think of about this particular event?
Well, I'll reiterate when it is, just to tell you folks. It's on Wednesday, December 12th from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. in West Barnstable at the West Barnstable Community Building. We have a great lineup of speakers sort of telling a story of what can happen with chemicals and how to have chemical safety in our everyday lives. That's why
fantastic.
someone should come.
I'd like to add that it's a great opportunity to learn what the county is doing for the residents. We do a lot of great things at the county, particularly with hazardous waste and with flooding as well. So it's a great introduction to what we do for folks at the county.
Great. So December 12th, the West Barnstable Community Building. It's going to be at 9:30 a.m. to 11:30. And chemical safety and climate change preparedness. It's really important.
It is.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you,
Thanks
Paula.
for having us, Paula.
There is still plenty of golf to play here in the town of Barnstable. Don't let winter get in the way. There is still some golf to play. I'm here with Bruce McIntyre, Superintendent for Barnstable Golf Courses. Bruce, it did snow, but it's gone already.
It's gone already. It's a little soggy out there, but it's gone already.
It's gone
Early
already.
snow. We'll take it.
So we're, November, December, there's still some golf to be had, but there's also other things here at the golf courses that people really should be aware of.
Well, no doubt. I mean, weather pending, Hyannis is going to stay open all winter long, so you can still come on down and play golf anytime. But at this time of year, outside of playing golf, people have to start thinking about the golfers in their world and where to find them a nice Christmas gift or a gift card or whatever. And we have 2 fully stocked pro shops with pretty much everything golf. Stop by the pro shop, get a gift card, pick up a gift. Lots of great fall merchandise. The other thing is you can purchase a gift card online at our website, which is new, by the way, and it's barnstable.golf.
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 I did take a look at it.
Yeah,
It's really nice. You get your tee times. You can get your tee times there.
It's easy. It's still a work in progress. We weren't going to unveil it until the beginning of the year, but I won't go into all those fun reasons why we had to do it, but nevertheless, it's going to be a real good thing. So, yeah, you can call the golf shops. We're open from 7 to 4:30, 7 days a week at this point. The only days that the golf course would be closed is Christmas Day. Believe it or not, we actually have a couple of staff members that come in Thanksgiving morning for people that want to get out and play a quick 9 before they go sit down with their family for the rest of the day. So we're open, we're here. Once the course is drained down, we're back at it.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about, so Hyannis stays open year-round. What about Old Barney?
Old Barnstable closes for the season usually in the 3rd week of December. This year, closing day is going to be December 19th. It's a Wednesday. One message to all of our pass holders out there, with all the different tournaments and events that people participate in over the year, they earn credit, and we have credit books, and so they earn credit to be able to come into the pro shop and get what they want. But credit books have to be used by December 31st, so we urge people, we've got a lot of money in there on credit, to come on in, use up your credit, purchase some gifts, and maybe get that pair of shoes or the rain gear you were looking for with the money you made this year. So, it's all good.
All right.
It's all good.
And we may have some fee changes as well.
Yeah, there was a fee proposal. It does include some rate increases. There was a public hearing last Thursday on November 8th. The town manager's taking it all into consideration. We haven't received any final word on what the 2019 rates will be, but there are some increases in there. I don't want to scare people, but the cost of maintaining the golf courses, and it's not just Barnstable Golf. It's the cost of maintaining and keeping up the golf courses is just getting more expensive all the time. So, we do our best.
Well, let's talk just a little bit about, because I have a golfer in my life, and, if I was to look for some kind of stocking stuffers, what would you recommend?
Oh, boy. For stocking stuffers, I mean,
How about this nice hat with the Barnstable?
dozens of hats. A rangefinder fits really nice in a stocking, too. They're a little bit more on the pricey end, but I mean, depending on what they like. I mean, whether it's a dozen balls or a couple of sleeves of balls or some ball mark repair tools. You can go beyond the golf stuff and get into just the more interesting things, whether it be a glass or a mug or whatever. We have everything. Whether it's actually a merchandise item, clothing. Special orders don't upset us. I mean, if you come in and talk to the pros, if we don't have it, they'll order it for you.
Right.
And usually it's a very quick turnaround. So,
Right.
Sunglasses fit good in stockings too.
Sunglasses, right? It's interesting for a lot of the folks that are out there. We talk every year about this, but memberships are really, really, just break down a few of those memberships that are available in case, you got some of those folks that are like,
Absolutely.
I love them dearly.
As soon as the rates and fees are approved, obviously, we'll have all of the new ones out there, but there are several categories. Obviously, we have resident categories and non-resident categories. We have resident adult. We have a second family member, which is a slight discount, so a husband-wife type of a deal. We have a super senior adult. We have a young adult, which is under 30. We have a student adult, which is 22 and under, and we have junior golfers, which is from 12 through the point in time that they're off to college. Rates and fees change Obviously, the prices are very different. Non-resident categories are pretty much the same across the board. So, you know, depending on your age and depending on how much golf you play, you know, you can find yourself a good deal across the board in any one of those categories. On the other hand, as a resident of the town of Barnstable who's not an annual pass holder, for the rest of the year, actually till next, I want to say, probably March 1st or so, it's $25 to play here at Hyannis. And it's, you know, it's $25 for the resident, it's $35 for the public, and at Old Barnstable right now, it's $40 for the public and the same $25 for the residents until closing. So, and at that point, golf isn't that expensive. So for $25, if you're a resident and you're not a pass holder, you can still come down and play golf.
Right. And I just want to mention, I noticed that a lot of folks on the golf committee are grandfathers, and they love that junior membership because it gives them time with the kids.
It's a great bargain. We don't have restrictions on when the juniors can play as much as some of the other facilities. So to be able to have 2 golf courses, playing almost as much as you'd like for $130 a year for a junior golfer is a bargain. Yeah.
Fantastic.
If we wanted to compare that to a week of summer camp or volleyball school or sailing or something like that, $130 is a pretty darn good deal.
Great deal.
We certainly want to make sure we keep the juniors coming in.
Right. Anything else you want to add for folks?
Hopefully we have a decent winter this year. Last year we had a lot of snow, a lot of rain, and a lot of storms. Let's all cross our fingers, hope we get some decent weather. Mother Nature's kind to us, and as bad as it gets over the winter, you know, winters are short here. Spring is right around the corner, and just wish everybody happy holiday season. You know, if you haven't played golf in a while, it's never too late to start.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Bruce.
Thank you very much.
Here is a look at the upcoming meetings for boards, commissions, and committees. Comments, suggestions, accolades? Connect with us on Facebook and Instagram. Email us or send us an old-fashioned note by carrier pigeon. Channel 18 works. For you. I'm Paula Hersey, and thank you for watching Barnstable Today.